Bad for Caitlin Clark, dude. Maybe not. Do you think people really want to watch her get her ass handed to her? Dude, I think it's generational, man. I think people our age are like, dude, this is like a throwback to the 90s. And I think people who are younger are like, what the hell is this crap?
They want her to pay her dues.
She's not being paid dues. I don't know, man. I see both sides of the argument, but like, I don't know. We have to get into that a little bit. Can you turn on the chat, please?
Yeah. I was going to say, I think they're upset with her. Only because of her early success.
Biting the hand that feeds them.
Then why aren't they giving the same crap to Angel Reese? It's Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese that are helping.
Yeah, but Angel Reese isn't as big of a name. Now, Angel's also playing the game. She's also throwback. She's also one that's physical to begin with. So she fits into there. Now, they're giving her crap, too. It's just she likes it, though. That's the problem.
She grew up hood, man. She likes to get, scrappy, dude.
Bayou Barbie, baby.
I think Caitlin's too much of that, like, little princess moniker.
I don't know, man.
And what's good, boys? What's up? Good morning, Tim Gonzalez. He says, what good, Mike and Joe? Sean Quintero's in here. He says, let's go.
What up, Quintero?
And Mario Cavasso says, good day, gentlemen. Good day to you, Mario. Jesse A says, what's up, brothers? What's up, man? Hit a milestone, man. While I was gone, it came back, and then late or I guess afternoon. In the afternoon, you sent me a text saying we hit 900. I'm like, wow.
Welcome to another episode of the Alamo City Sports Cast with Mike Jimenez and Joe Garcia. Make sure to subscribe and hit that like button. Join the discussion as we broadcast live from beautiful West San Antonio. And remember to tip your hosts as it helps the show grow.
What's up, San Antonio? What's up, South Texas? This is the Alamo City Sports Cast coming at you from West San Antonio, West Bexar County, also represented. Joe Garcia is back. We are back in studio. I miss this desk. I miss this chair. I miss the 2-minute intro because it was weird last Thursday and Friday hitting go and all of a sudden already being on.
Yeah.
Thank you to Sean Quintero, by the way, for coming in on Friday and keeping me company as well.
You did good.
You were surprised, weren't you, Joe, that I actually did a show because I know you were gone. You were in Kansas and you were driving all the way back. 1,000-mile drive, which sucks. I know. I've done them before. But people were kind of surprised that I actually did the show. But I did the show solo on Thursday. Thank you to all the people who follow us on Facebook, on Twitter, and on YouTube for being part of the show because they're helping with the comments and whatnot. By the way, our comment line is open on YouTube. We hit a milestone yesterday, our 900th YouTube subscriber. Today we picked up 901.
Yep.
So we are 901 strong, making our way to 1,000, and we party at 1,000. That's a big milestone. Once we get 900's nice. We get to 1,000. It's time to party.
It is, man.
I mean, we got to go get the Imperial Ballroom there on Callahan Road. Have a party, right?
Or the VFW that's right here down the road here on Hunt Lane. The VFW.
If you know, you know. By the way, I'm wearing my LSU purple right now because LSU takes on North Carolina today for the right to advance in the College World Series. LSU won yesterday. It was a best-of-3 series between the number 1 and the number 4 team in that bracket.
Nice.
LSU, the number 4 team, number 1 UNC. LSU had to go. It's double elimination. LSU had lost earlier in the week. Winner of tonight's game advances. But we have a lot to get into today. First and foremost, I have accused Jerry Jones this morning of malpractice when it comes to the Dallas Cowboys. At this point, let's just call it what it is. The Dallas Cowboys are the worst run franchise in all of the NFL right now because of what happened today, not even involving the Cowboys, but it does affect the Cowboys down the road, which is the fact that Justin Jefferson of the Minnesota Vikings got the bag today, got the biggest contract He's going to be the highest paid player, non-quarterback in NFL history. And think about this. He was drafted in the same draft as CeeDee Lamb. And CeeDee Lamb wants to get the bag too. And CeeDee Lamb, one of the best in the NFL.
He is.
What is Jerry Jones doing not locking up his guys? He didn't lock up Dak for $45 million, and now Dak's price tag is probably closer to $60. He hasn't locked down Micah Parsons. He hasn't locked down CeeDee Lamb. What exactly is this guy doing?
Jerry ain't got no money, brother. That's what it boils down to. Jerry is trying to make financial business decisions for the future of the franchise and also America's team.
Are they close? Are they low-key tanking at this point?
I think Jerry is. I think Jerry knows what's going to happen because at some point you're going to have to hit that reset button. Why not do it now rather than later?
Are they trying to get rid of this guy, Dak Prescott? Are they trying to just like move him out of the way and say, oh, we're not tanking, but we're tanking low-key? That's the thing. So we'll get into the whole Justin Jefferson thing and whether or not a wide receiver should be getting paid that much to begin with. Is this
a lot of money?
Is this a stupid thing anyway?
Well, they overpaid for the running back in Zeke.
They did back in the day.
He held out.
We're going to get into some NBA talk. You know, Spurs, new mock drafts when it comes to the Spurs. I find it interesting what came out over the weekend as far as players that the Spurs are suddenly being mentioned in the hunt for. Caitlin Clark, that was big news over the weekend.
Yeah.
Caitlin Clark got clocked, got beat up over the weekend. But yesterday,
she's been getting beat up.
Followed it up with the worst game in her WNBA career. Should we feel sorry for Caitlin Clark?
No.
Why not?
She's one of these, let's say rookies, right? A budding rookie that's coming in.
Yeah.
Has all these accolades, has all this attention. Comes in, what does she think is going to happen in the WNBA level? It's just like playing in the NBA. It doesn't matter how good you were at the collegiate level or how good you think you are.
She has a target on her back.
Yeah, exactly.
And right now her teammates aren't doing anything to defend her.
Her teammates don't even care about her, dude. They're jealous of her.
Nothing to defend
when
her.
She's getting roughed up and getting pushed down on the court and all this, where are her teammates at?
Okay,
nobody's coming to her aid.
So one question that we have today is, should we feel sorry for Caitlin Clark?
Nah.
Should we feel sorry for a guy named Jabari Parker? Now,
there's
a blast from the past. Jabari Parker, who was the number 2 overall pick in the NBA draft 10 years ago, brought to tears by our news reporter out in Europe.
It sounded like he had a little accent. I don't know if it was Spain.
It was Spain. He was from Spain. Yeah. So the guy asked a very honest question. And you know what? We got an honest response, an honest answer from Jabari Parker, because Jabari Parker brought to tears when it came to it all. Speaking of being brought to tears of joy and tears of agony when it comes to the 6A softball championship in Texas high school baseball, Texas high school softball, rather.
Wow.
Oh my God. We're going to go over that and show some highlights of that, because what a dramatic finish. And you know, what do they say? The thrill of victory and the agony of defeat.
Yeah.
Can you imagine being on both sides of this as a high school from Weslaco takes home the title in a very dramatic fashion? I feel so happy for them and so bad for the other team at the same time. We'll do some pop culture. Demon Mike will make an appearance. Demon Mike might make an appearance now, because while you were gone, Joe, the phrase came up, teacher mating season, which, depending on where you are in the state, is at a different time, right? Because San Antonio's largest school district, Northside ISD, is still open for business. Okay, so Thursday is when it's the last day of school. So Friday, Saturday,
they're still working.
Right? So they're going to be out this weekend. So I would guess and say in San Antonio, teacher mating season will begin this upcoming Saturday. But some school districts are out already. Yeah. I know some in the Valley are out. Others in San Antonio are out.
Some of the surrounding counties have already finished as well.
But unofficially, it's June 1 through August 15. Yeah. And just yesterday, I got a DM from one of our listeners coming out and saying, Michael, I was on a plane, I was on a flight, and this girl was rolling up on me hardcore. Guess what she does for a living? Teacher. And what was she saying? She was so happy that they were done for the year.
She was like, F them kids, man.
Dude, it is a phenomenon, baby. It actually happens. Teacher mating season is a thing. Again, if you want to be part of the show, feel free to leave a comment. Also, our QR code is up on the top left if you want to buy us a coffee. Helps bring the show along. I was telling the listeners the other day that I want to buy this contraption. I think this is the next step, Joe. It's that contraption where you attach your iPhone to it, a Sennheiser mic sticks out of it, and you can take it on the road.
Oh, yeah.
And things like that. It's about $160, the one that
Not
I
bad.
saw over at Guitar Center. So the next $160 that I think that we get in
There you go.
for equipment that we get when people do the super chats and whatnot, I think we should get that.
Yeah, what are we at right now? We're at $91
$91
so far, and we have a goal of 200 for this.
So I think if we get to 200, I think that's a very wise choice, because then we can take it to missions games.
Take it on the road.
Dude, we could go on to parties, like when we do the party for the 1,000 subscriber. We can take it to that. Dude, if we get Spurs press passes, if we decide to go that route, Brahma's down the road, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
We need to have something that shows that, hey, we are gathering official sound. We're not just sticking someone's face,
your phone,
a phone to them, right? So we need to have something a little bit more
man.
legit. That Sennheiser mic just stands out like that. Good times, baby.
Yeah.
Good times. But we're going to go for about an hour and 15 minutes. Joe, we're not late today because of me. We're late because of Joe. This is the first time that I've arrived, and Joe's looking at me like, why are you here? That's like, because the show's about to start.
Yeah, look at my watch. It was 10:01 when you were at Shipley's. You're like,
Yeah,
you want anything from Shipley's? Like, yeah, give me a kolache.
And then you looked up and you're like, oh my God, I haven't set things up for the show yet.
I was like, damn, it's 10:01.
So we're about 5 or 6 minutes late, man.
Yeah,
we'll make it up to people.
I was updating some of the graphics and stuff, getting some things done behind the scenes here. And then when I looked at the watch, I was like, well, damn. But one of the things we didn't get to do, we're going to do right now, is it's Monday, man. Everybody needs to wake the hell up. So we got to.
Oh, brutal. Someone stepped on a nail again. Someone stepped on a nail. That's what it sounds like when it's all said and done.
It's Grito Monday, dude. We got to go to the Grito to wake up the necios, man, our listeners.
Dude, it's supposed to be Grito Friday, right? I mean, it's supposed to be Monday. Saturday night when you're drunk off your ass. And like, has anyone ever done a Grito sober?
Yes.
No. It's always some drunk dude off of 8 Bud Lights, man.
Nah, you do gritos before you even get so all messed up, dude.
What's the official beer of the guy that does the grito?
I don't know. It's probably gonna be like
MGD.
Oh no, man! It's got to be some Mexican cerveza, dude. Modelos.
No, it ain't. They ain't forking over money for high end Mexican beer. What's the low end Mexican beer? Is it like Sol?
No, probably Sol. Estrella.
No.
Estrella.
No. It's Tecate.
Oh no, dude, that shit's nasty.
Dude, Tecate is the official beer of the grito.
You wouldn't even be able to knock down a Tecate Rojo, dude, a hot one. No, you wouldn't be able to drink that, dude.
Jonathan C coming out and saying Bud Ice.
Oh no, bro. Bud Ice is like the leftover brew at the bottom. Yeah. They just bottle it up and say, let's put it out there.
Mario is saying that the official cerveza, the official beer of the grito, is Bud Light. Jonathan C also saying Sol. Others coming out calling me an uncultured swine. Very, very nice. Very, very, very nice.
So,
Tex-Mex Frank with Carta Blanca.
Oh, man, dude. And I was saying Estrella. That's what you get when you're in Mexico.
Yeah.
Estrella.
Dude, come on. The ones with the gritos, dude, they're not going out there and forking over extra for Modelo. They're not forking over extra for Dos Equis. It is not about the quality of beer or the quality of cerveza.
In that case,
it's the quantity of beer.
Natty Light. Natural Light. Natty Light, dude.
Sith reaching out saying a Modelo with extra foil on top. Don't get me started with the foil. But that's it. I mean, that's it, right? I mean, I'm not trying to be...
What fuels the grito?
I'm not trying to generalize, but because... It's pinky out beer, dude. That's what Modelo is.
You don't even need beer.
That's what the Dos Equis dressed out with the
tahini.
That's pinky out, and I'm all about that. Dude.
That's
I get it. I'm a coconut. I get it.
Tahini.
Add the tahini, dude. You did too.
I tried it. No, it was good. I'm just saying, but
no, trying it means we did it one time. No, if you have 4 or 5 beers,
but
that
I got
way,
mine with
like it.
But I got mine with the sal on the top.
Yes.
You know? I tried it with tahini. I was like, it's all right. But, reverted back to going to the salt, dude.
Yeah, reverted back after 3 with the tahini.
Come on. All right.
Come on.
I don't remember what we were drinking that day. Was it
that the day that the Rangers won the World Series?
I think so, dude. Because we were
drunk off our ass.
We were drinking like 3. What was it? Was it Jack and Cokes? We're 3 deep in that plus beer.
People buying us drinks
plus the beer,
celebrating that the Rangers won finally.
Yeah, and everybody was hating on us.
That was good times.
Y'all are bandwagoners. I was like, I'm just supporting the Texas team, man.
I was wearing a Rangers shirt, so that it is.
I had my Texas hat on with the star and everything on it. Yeah.
Jason Garcia says, "Don't disrespect the Coconuts."
Oh man.
So I'm even disrespectful to them. I mean, I thought I was like the mascot. I thought I was the figurehead of the Cocos.
Look at Fernandez says chamoy and tajin. Hey, that's the move right there, dude.
All right, let's get into some sports talk because man, when I got that alert on my phone this morning, very few things make my eyes bug out. But according to NFL.com, ESPN, and all of those guys, we now have the highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history, a contract extension, 4 years for Justin Jefferson. Where did he go to college? LSU. Dude, the fact that he was with Joe Burrow, Justin Jefferson, and Jamar Chase, good God. And they had a good running back along the way. That was a godly team. But we're talking about a contract for Justin Jefferson. 4 years, $140 million. That is $35 million a year. 110 guarantee. Justin Jefferson released a statement saying that this is the dream he's always had. He's always had the dream to get the big contract. I'm thinking of Rod Tidwell from Jerry Maguire, right? Show me the money. You know, show me the money, Jerry. Show me the money. Dude got the quan, man. He got the bag when it came to it all.
Show me the money while you're losing all the rest of your clients. Yeah,
exactly. Now, Justin Jefferson arguably is the best wide receiver in all of football, but it's one of those things where does it matter if you're the best receiver in all of football if you have no one throwing the ball to you? Kirk Cousins ain't walking through that door anymore because Sam Darnold is the starting quarterback week 1 for the Minnesota Vikings. Sam Darnold, who, by the way, was a top draft pick for the Jets a few years ago.
Yeah.
Ended up going to the Niners, had a cup of coffee over there, backup quarterback, then makes his way over, and he's the bridge, right? The 1-year contract because Minnesota drafted J.J. McCarthy 10th overall in the NFL draft out of Michigan to be the future quarterback, but Justin Jefferson's going to be over there taking most of the money. You're not saving money. You're paying a receiver quarterback money, essentially. But let's look at Justin Jefferson's stats, shall we? As a rookie, he came out on fire. 1,400 yards receiving. 1,400. Year 2, 1,616. Year 3, 128 catches, 1,809 yards. Both led the NFL. Last year was injured. Only played 10 games. Still had nearly 1,100 yards receiving and 5 touchdowns. But again, he did have some injuries last year, but that didn't prevent him from getting the bag, didn't prevent him from getting this contract extension. And the first thing I thought, Joe, was congratulations to him. Second thing I thought was Dallas Cowboys are screwed.
Yeah, because this sets a precedent now for what the market is going to go ahead and garner, when you're going to go ahead and sign a wide receiver. Mm-hmm. It's not going to be yesterday's prices aren't today's prices.
Exactly.
That price tag just went up.
The price tag just went up. And I guess the big question I have, because you look at the stats of CeeDee Lamb from last season. CeeDee Lamb led the league with 135 receptions, had 1,749 yards receiving, 12 touchdowns.
Is he worth more than 140?
Is he better than Justin Jefferson? Because a lot of Cowboy fans reaching out to me on Twitter.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm at MJ Acquired Taste. Joe is at Two Shots Podcast, coming up to me asking the question, well, Jefferson is better than CeeDee Lamb. And it's funny because if I had asked this question last year before the season started, everyone was saying, well, no, they're both 1A.
Yeah.
They're both the same tier. And now when this contract comes out, Cowboy fans are suddenly like, well, Justin Jefferson's better. No, he's not. They're just as good. I mean, if you want to make an argument that Justin Jefferson's a better wide receiver in the NFL, we can make that argument. But you could also make the argument for CeeDee Lamb that CeeDee Lamb is on the way up. That CeeDee Lamb, because he hasn't missed a game the last 2 seasons, might be the better play for the future.
Yeah.
You know what this is all going to line up to be? This is going to be where CeeDee Lamb's contract goes out, and what are they going to do? They're going to franchise tag his ass twice.
He's going to want to leave, dude. In 2 years, he's going to say, you know what? I had enough, man. I'm out.
Yes, and Micah Parsons, by the way, has already said he wants to make more than 30. So think about that, Cowboy fans. Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, Micah Parsons for a grand total of about $125 million for those three players.
You don't have the cap space for all that, man.
And that is why I have been saying that the window has closed. Okay.
They have to hit the reset button.
Not to quote Milli Vanilli, but it's a tragedy for me to see the dream is over. The window's closed.
Blame it on Jerry.
Blame it on Jerry. Yeah.
Overpaid.
Blame it on the star on the side of the helmet.
Oh,
anyway, man,
God.
Went with it. Had to go with it, man. This is unrehearsed. But the fact of the matter is that, dude, they're screwed. They are screwed.
Micah Parsons can start selling raspas or nalgas.
F that, right? Fernandez coming in with all in. And here's the thing, man.
No,
and David, I want to try to throw shade at me. Saints not doing nothing either. Saints actually have gotten better over the offseason. They were a 10-win team last year. And I'm not going to say this, the Saints are going to go make some noise, right?
Not with your quarterback.
Yeah, I'm indifferent. He's got weapons though.
But come on, bro. I mean, you've seen that quarterback. Your quarterback, you got to be honest. You're going to say he's all right.
He's all right.
He's all right.
I mean, they were 9-8 last year, and they were missing Alvin Kamara for a good chunk of the season.
Yeah, they were.
So, and then Shaheed didn't become Shaheed until later on. It's a decent team. They're not a rollover team. They're going to lose week 2 to the Cowboys. They're not going to go to Dallas and win that game.
But they're always going to be there in their conference.
But they're going to be there. They have the easiest schedule in all of the NFL. They're going to go get their 9 or 10 wins. Will it be enough to win the division? We shall see. But the offensive line of the Saints, if they get better, they get better. You know, because that's what they did, man. Unsexy draft picks. They got offensive linemen this year. And so I'm excited about this year.
Protect your boy.
I'm excited about this year because I know that my team that was 9-8 last year got a little bit better. But Cowboy fans, your 12-win team last year, did it get better?
No, they got worse. You lost some people.
Did it get better? Were the Cowboys 12-5 last year? What was the record last year?
Yeah, I think they were, dude. They admit this in the offseason. They lost some key players, man.
Oh, the Cowboys have lost so many players, man. Yeah, they were 12-5 again last year. It was back-to-back years. Mike McCarthy might be on the clock, on the hot seat when it comes to this, but they're handicapping him, man. They are. And you look at this offseason for the Cowboys. This is the first time in my 47 years of life on this earth, right? My Saturn has returned almost twice. 47 years on this earth that I've ever heard a Cowboy fan come up to me and go, this ain't our year.
No, it's always their year.
It's always we damn boys.
Super Bowl.
And
Vamos para la Super Bowl.
This is the first time where they've all jumped off the car. They've jumped off the bandwagon a little bit. David Allwater, I got my boys winning 10 games. And if they go 10-7, they're not making the playoffs. That you are saying at that point that they're not making the playoffs. For the Cowboys to make the playoffs, they have to win the division, and 10's not going to do it this year.
Yeah.
Commanders suck. Giants suck, but the Eagles reloaded.
Better. They got better.
The Eagles reloaded, and they're going to have a healthier Jalen Hurts because last year you had a hurt guy. You had a Hurts.
Oh, man, Hanover Fist. Nah, this is still our year, boy.
10 is a wild card in some seasons, but not this year.
I don't even know if that's going to get you to the wild card.
No, 10 doesn't oftentimes get you there anymore.
No.
Tony Ornalis coming up to us and saying that he's a realistic Cowboys fan, and next season is not their year, especially with no running back. Again, no Tony Pollard, right? Who do you have as RB1? Is it Zeke? I mean,
Zeke's good for what, 3 yards?
I mean, is it Turpin? I mean, is it gonna be that 5'6" guy? Come on, man. The Cowboys team sucks this year. And are they gonna get 10 wins? Well, they're gonna get 2 freebies for the Commanders, unless Commanders' new head coach knows all about the Cowboys inside and out. I mean, is he going to be able to throw something out there to steal a win? The Giants, no Saquon. Where did Saquon go again?
Saquon.
Isn't he with the Eagles? But By the way, speaking of which,
oh man, that's a tough one, dude. Now that Saquon's over there with the Eagles, dude, they just got even better. You know? And then they picked up some other, players in the offseason as well.
Speaking of which, there's going to be some punishments handed down this week by the NFL to two teams. One of them, the Philadelphia Eagles, and it's all about the tampering of certain players and things like that. Now, there was say that the Saquon Barkley one wasn't that big of a deal, but they'll probably lose a draft pick, maybe a third or a fourth rounder. But there's another team out there who is going to be punished pretty harshly, and it's probably going to lose a first rounder. So look out for those NFL news. You know, it's not Wojbomb. Who is it? The Adam Schefter.
Yeah, Shefty.
Shefty. Hanover Fist reached out and saying Barkley is damaged goods. But when that guy is out there, man, he's good. Last season, as a 26-year-old, Saquon Barkley, 14 games played, 962 yards on the ground. He also had 280 on in receiving yards. I mean, come on, man. 1,200 yards from one guy in 14 games. The Cowboys would wish that they're going to have a guy like this next year.
Man,
if he's damaged goods, what's the Cowboys RB running back committee looking like right now?
Garbage, dude. I like this comment from Tex-Mex Frank. Does it not matter how much Mike says my Cowboys girlfriend is fea? She's still my numero uno. And you know that's going to be the consensus with Cowboys fans. It doesn't matter how bad they are. It's still America's team. They're going to still ride or die with them, dude.
Oh, man. I don't know how you can be America's team when half of America hates you.
That's all right. That's why I have my Sancha team, the Texans, bro.
Yeah. You got to have a Sancha team. And people have reached out about that because – you know, my Sancha team has always been back and forth between the Texans and the Bengals. Most recently, it's been the Bengals. I might go back to the Texans this year. It goes to the Bengals because they have Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow. My daughter went to LSU. They went to LSU. But when it comes to the Texans, man, I was so disappointed in the Bill O'Brien years that I had to jump off, man. That was
that was brutal, bro.
That was a no balls team because Bill O'Brien had no balls as the head coach.
No, man. He was like the manager or something like that, making the decisions.
General manager as well.
He was bad.
I remember one time against the Patriots. They were going toe to toe with the Patriots towards the end of the season. And the Texans were outplaying New England. And the Texans were half a yard away from winning the game. Half a yard from winning the game. And instead they punted the ball, hoping that their defense would hold up against Tom Brady. And they gave Brady the ball back with a 2-minute drill. Brady at the time with like 5 rings, you know? And I was thinking to myself, if you can't get half a yard, because if they get half a yard, Joe, they kneel the ball, victory formation, win the game, upset the Patriots. And instead of going for a half yard, they gave the ball to the GOAT. Was the stupidest decision I had ever seen as an NFL fan. The dumbest I've ever seen. And Bill O'Brien was that guy. I almost felt like Bill O'Brien was trying to give the game away. Because where did Bill O'Brien come from? New England.
But Bill O'Brien, he turned the Texans into a poverty-ass franchise, dude. Mm-hmm. He basically ruined that franchise, and then they were able to finally climb back out of that nonsense once they let him go.
Right. I agree, man. And Mario Cavazos says, Mike loves Jerry Jones. That's his daddy. They've partied together holding hands. Talk about tall tales. Dude, I've had drinks with a guy.
Look at Fernandez calling me out. Sancha team's just an excuse not to stand on your business. No, bro. That means you get tired of the losing, man. You got to root for another team.
You don't want to be with the team that's going to be like 4-13 on the season. At some point, you got to have a rooting interest in another team. But there needs to be some rules to it, Joe, when it comes to having a Sancha team. Can you have the gear of your Sancha team? Because I see your Texans hat over there.
Yeah, I got my hat.
You have your Texans hat.
I got my hat.
So have you worn that hat out and about yet?
Not yet. I'm gonna go wear this when I'm gonna go watch the game over there with my boy Pledger, bro. That's when I'm gonna bust it out.
Okay, are you gonna feel weird wearing another team's colors?
Hopefully they keep winning, and I'll be like, nah. I'm glad that they're my Sancha team.
Okay, because I would feel weird. Okay, now if the Texans are gonna be my Sancha team, I might get one shirt. I might get one cap. Shirt. But you can't make it where it's part of your wardrobe. Dude, I could wear LSU gear all week long because my daughter went there, and every time I went to go visit, I'd buy 2 shirts.
Yeah.
Right. I have probably a polo from the Saints, and I've got 2 hoodies of the Saints, and I've got 5 or 6 T-shirts.
Yeah.
Right now, I know there are some Cowboy fans out there who their entire freaking closet,
full of
is Cowboys
jerseys.
gear. Okay, I'm not like that. I've got maybe 6 articles of clothing, right? Though I might get some Saints shoes. I posted a photo of some kicks that were out there, the Air Force Ones.
Oh yeah,
they weren't that expensive, $85. But I was like, you know what? I might get a pair or 2 of these things.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't fill my wardrobe out with 2 teams. Like one shirt. I'm gonna allow 1 shirt for the Sancho team.
Yeah,
1 shirt.
I'm gonna have a shirt and a hat.
JHNSB saying Spurs are a respectable franchise, unlike the Cowboys. Well, I mean, the great Bill Simmons of The Ringer, formerly of ESPN's Page 2, formerly of Grantland.com, and the guy behind 30 for 30, he always said, the time by which you can always start bitching and moaning about your team is 10 years after they won their last championship.
Damn, look at that breaking news here, man. Cowboy
Whoa.
legend.
Is that true?
I think so, bro.
Let me see if that's coming in right now. Let me I don't want to be tricked by the internet. Dallas Cowboys made the announcement 5 minutes ago.
Wow.
Their verified account saying the Dallas Cowboys, thank you for letting us know, by the way.
Yeah, thanks.
The Dallas Cowboys are saddened to share that the Cowboys legend, Super Bowl champion, Cowboy Ring of Honor member, and Pro Football Hall of Famer Larry Allen passed away suddenly while on vacation in Mexico with his family on Sunday. Larry, known for his great athleticism and incredible strength, was one of the most respected, accomplished offensive linemen to ever play in the NFL. Goes on to say that his versatility and dependability were also signature parts of his career. Through that, he continued to serve as an inspiration for many other players, defining what it meant to be a great teammate, competitor, and winner. He was deeply loved and cared for by his wife, Janelle, whom he referred to as his heart and soul, his daughters, Jayla and Loriana, and his son, Larry III. The Jones family and the Cowboys extend their deepest condolences, thoughts, and prayers to the Allen family and grieve along with the many other friends and Cowboy teammates that also loved Larry. Again, Larry Allen, former Dallas Cowboy legend, has passed away.
Wow, man.
And to pass away on vacation, that's they're going out there to
have fun.
Yeah. Now, Larry Allen, by the way, was born in 1971, so he passed away at the age of 52. The guy played at 6'3", 325 pounds. Not sure what his weight was now, but that's what his playing weight was. He went to Vintage High School in Napa, California. Went to college at Sonoma State. Think about that. Sonoma State. I don't even know where Sonoma State is. I'm going to assume it's California. But he went on, played for the Dallas Cowboys from 94 to 05. Finished the last 2 seasons of his career, of his playing time with the San Francisco 49ers. Was a Super Bowl champion, Super Bowl 30, which was the last one for the Cowboys, if I'm not mistaken. 7-time first-team All-Pro, consecutive years, 1995 to 2001. Was an 11-time Pro Bowler, made the All-Rookie team. Here's this, Joe. Made the All-90s All-Decade team. Yeah. Made the All-2000s All-Decade team. Was part of the NFL's 100th anniversary all-time team. And also, Larry Allen was part of the Dallas Cowboys Ring of Honor. Played 203 games, had 4 fumble recoveries. Larry Allen has died at the age of 52. Dallas Cowboys great.
Man, I mean, he was like Tex-Mex Frank, and everybody was saying in here too. And like, for being a big guy, dude was mobile, man.
He was dependable.
And I said, he even ran down a corner. You look at that. David Outwater says, remember Allen ran down a corner for an interception, bro.
Now, think about this. The offensive line that you had over there and the defensive line that the Cowboys had, all-time greats. All-time greats at every position out there. And, Larry Allen is somebody that he did the dirty work, man. He did the dirty work. And the guard position is really one that is not heralded. Everyone thinks about the tackle, right? Everybody thinks about the center. But the guard is that one part of the offensive line that probably gets the least respect. It's the one that gets the least amount of money, Joe.
Yeah.
But Larry Allen was a very, very good competitor. He grew up in Compton, California. His bio goes on to say that he had a troubled childhood, that he almost died when he was young of meningitis. He was stabbed 12 times by a neighbor when he was a child. Not when he was a teen, when he was a child. Went to Centennial High School in Compton, lettered in football. Larry Allen, with a very, very tough upbringing, to go on to the NFL and have a great career was absolutely amazing. He lived in Danville, California. He has a nephew who plays in the NBA G League. Interesting. Passed away yesterday somewhere in Mexico at the age of 52.
What a shame, man.
It is a shame. And I mean, obviously we're going to try to find out exactly what happened. This news just broke. Again, we found out through, got the confirmation, if you will, from the Dallas Cowboys themselves coming out and saying that he has passed away, and their thoughts, prayers, condolences going to the Larry Allen family. That's always sad, man. It's sad when you think about some of the greats that you watch playing. I talk about this with my dad sometimes, and it's happened to me too. When you have like a musician that you grew up with pass away, it's almost like a part of you died.
Yeah, man. It makes you think a little bit, like, hey, man, like all these people that we grew up watching, familiar faces.
Yeah, we saw Bill Walton died last week.
Man.
Bill Walton died last week, and that's another legend. And we have this in memorandum about all these players who have passed away and celebrities who have passed away.
Yeah.
I know, like in music, my music, Scott Weiland, Chester Bennington, Chris Cornell, all these guys, Lane Staley, have all died over the years, and it makes me feel bad. And then athletes, Kobe Bryant passed away, and it's like a part of you passes away. Now, I'm not saying that Larry Allen was that guy, because don't get me wrong, Larry Allen was a big figure of the Dallas Cowboys in the 90s, right? But I mean, that was Troy, Michael, and Emmett's team, right? And you go down the list, somewhere around 10 or 12, you come up and say, well, Larry Allen, right? But that's very, very sad to hear about. Passed away at the age of 52. Cowboys legend. Now I feel bad for talking bad about the Cowboys.
For real, dude. You gotta give them a pass for the day, man.
Pass for the day. All right. Let's talk about something that I had never talked about before up until about 6 months ago or so. Actually, about a year ago, I was really getting into the whole Caitlin Clark drama.
Yeah.
Okay, because what happened over the weekend with Caitlin Clark, we really need to get into.
Oh, man.
So
you got the video?
I'm going to call it up right now. Caitlin Clark had her worst game ever yesterday. I think she had like 3 points.
Yeah.
They got stomped. And
she gets stomped too.
Yes. But Caitlin Clark is a polarizing figure right now. And I'm showing some of the video. Look what happened to her.
Get off me.
Okay, so the problem, a lot of people are like being supportive of this, saying, well, it's just 90s basketball. That's the way that it was played back in the day, all that stuff. And others are coming out and saying, well, wait a minute. Why are you biting the hand that feeds you? So let's go back in time. Caitlin Clark is the most popular WNBA player right now. No doubt she is box office. She is making this a legit league. I know they've been around for 25 years, and they've had quote unquote stars, but we're seeing brawls going out now in WNBA. I mean, this was just the other day. A brawl broke out between two other teams. There's a lot going on right now.
But look at this video, man. Look at what happens in this video. She gets leveled, thrown to the ground. Her teammates right there. Nobody comes to her aid as far as going at the opposing player that just knocked your teammate down.
I have a problem with this for a couple of reasons.
Nobody comes to her aid.
Nobody comes to her aid. And that's problem number one. But the thing is that I have an issue with this particular play. I have no issue with her being roughed up.
Yeah.
Okay. We talked about this a couple of weeks ago when she had her debut.
Yeah, that was a cheap shot.
She drove into the lane. She got leveled. Yeah. Go earn them at the free throw line. Have no problem with that.
That was a cheap shot. This one right
here. The ball wasn't even in play.
Yeah, no, man.
So they're like, she was flopping. How are you flopping when the ball's not in play? The idea that she was flopping, the ball's not in play, man. How do you expect to get hit if the ball's not in play? JHNSB comes up to us and says, if she was truly the GOAT, she would stand up for herself. Now, the person who hit her, by the way, came out afterwards and said that, what does she do other than hit 3-pointers? You know? Well, before yesterday's game, Caitlin Clark was 4th in the league in assists as a rookie. She's putting up some pretty good numbers. She had her first 30-point game the other day. She's putting up good stats. Her team is not very good at all. And you have all these players coming out that are former NBA players coming out saying, you know what? She needs an enforcer on her team.
She needs somebody to come up and kind of help her out here. I mean, she's getting leveled. Nobody's coming to her aid. I mean, they help her get up off the court, but nobody's starting anything. You know, it's like they just finished leveling one of your teammates. You would think you would come and stick up for her. Let me
ask you this. These games are now being played on ESPN.
Yeah.
They're talking about how when she played against the Aces the other day, the tickets were 3 times more expensive than when the Aces were winning the WNBA championship, the WNBA finals.
Yeah.
She is box office. They're pushing MLB, Major League Baseball games off of ESPN 1, the main one, right? And putting WNBA games instead.
Yeah, because she's getting that draw right now. But the thing
people
is,
want to watch her.
When you draw that much attention, you got to produce, you know, or they're not gonna love you no more. You know, and I think other players are taking offense to that. You know, so
well, why are they offended? What exactly has Caitlin Clark done to offend these players?
She's become the media darling.
So what?
You know, and I think
no one gave a crap about the WNBA before her.
I think that's what they're getting offended by. You know, like nobody really gave a crap about what they were doing before she came here.
So, but now that people are watching,
yeah,
what's that old saying? You know, a high tide raises all boats. Why are they complaining?
Well, you know,
and I understand you want to make her not make it easy for her. Yeah. I get that. I get the whole playing rough. I get the whole hard fouls. But why be dirty against her? That's what I don't understand. Why be dirty?
There's just natural animosity towards her from the other players in the NBA, the WNBA.
Tony reaches out and says, jealousy, bro. Jealousy. Yeah. That's just basically what it is. Chris Gonzalez coming out and saying that would not happen to Sue Bird, Diana Taurasi, or Maya Moore.
Diana Taurasi, scrappy, bro. She'd go right back up.
She was throwing stuff in the other day when they lost the game. She was hitting things in the background.
Yeah.
Vainstein said women really hate other women winning.
You know what? Women are mean to other women, bro. No lies.
And this Shanity Chandler, or whatever her name is, because I don't care what her name is, because she's a nobody, by the way. For her to come out and say, well, what does she do? What does she bring to the game? When Caitlin Clark averages more points, assists, rebounds, steals, and blocks than that girl who hit her.
Look at Jesse A. It's their way of saying thanks for the chartered flights.
I know.
You know, at some point, her teammates aren't coming to her aid. So you know what, Caitlin? You got to stick up for yourself, man. You know, and if they're going to want to go ahead and do this to you, you got to make them think twice and be like, you know what? She's going to scrap it up with me. Do I really want to do this?
Here's the whole play. Here, look at the entire play, courtesy of ESPN.
Yeah, and look at all her teammates.
Like the ball's not even in play.
Yeah, I get that.
They're like, well, she was talking trash. What was she doing? She was waiting for the inbounds pass. I understand playing rough with her, but why play dirty? And this chick who hit her refused to take questions about it after the game. If you have the balls to go and hit the number one attraction of the WNBA, you should have the balls to go up there and answer questions that reporters give you. That was a punk-ass move. That's how she knows that she's in the wrong. That's how she knows. Because you know what? She should be up if she has the balls to go and do this on national TV, she should have the balls to talk to a reporter, but she doesn't. Now, I'm not some apologist for Caitlin Clark. I want her to struggle a little bit because I don't want it to come easy, right? I don't want it to come easy. I don't want her to go out there and light it up for 35 points per game. I want there to be a target on her back, but I don't want it to be a dirty target. And here's the thing, Joe. This might get us excited, right? This might be like that thing from Joaquin Phoenix, Commodus from Gladiator, where we lick our lips going, "Oh, this is great." Remember that part of
he just gave you another soundbite.
Yeah. Yeah. We lick our lips because we want to see this, because we grew up in the 80s and 90s and early 2000s where there was stuff like this going on, where there was the Bad Boy Pistons, and you had the Knicks with their enforcers, and you had the Rockets with their enforcers, Charles Oakley and Lambeer and Rodman and all that stuff. That's great, right? So for those of us who have followed the game that long ago, we look at this and go, hey, man, I don't mind watching this. But let's talk about my daughter. My daughter is the person that they're going after to watch these games. They're not going after 50-year-old dudes or 45-year-old dudes. They want to get 20-year-old women to watch this, 25 and 30-year-old women to watch this game, maybe even 25, 30-year-old dudes to watch this game. This is a generation who hates Seinfeld.
Yeah, what they love Friends.
But Friends isn't risque.
Yeah.
There's nothing risque about Friends, other than the fact that they only had one black character in New York in the entire season, the entire franchise of Friends, right? They live in New York City, but there's only one black guy. Aisha Tyler, she was beautiful. But they're not into this. They're not. They're not into watching players getting beaten up. We live in a society now where when we were growing up, Sports Illustrated would have those videos on VHS of the greatest hits, which are all CTE hits.
Oh, dude. Yeah.
Right? And now people who watch the NFL now don't want to watch this. People who watch basketball now don't want to watch this. And if you do want to watch this, guess what? Look at your driver's license. You're over 45.
Yeah.
No one under 45 wants to watch this.
I don't want to see no guy getting his leg broken or twisted ankles, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
NBA, man, that's brutal, man.
Now, the fashion show beforehand, and Angel Reese, dude, Angel Reese is they're rookie hazing her too.
She likes it.
But she likes it because she plays down low. She's not a guard chunking up threes. She's banging bodies down low. Dude, there was a girl that was thrown out of the game for taking her down by the neck the other day. And what did she do? She bounced back up, and did she complain about it? She did not complain about it. You know why? She was like, that was great. Do it again. Can I do it back to you?
Yeah.
She's a different breed, man. So she's receptive towards that. But the thing is that Caitlin Clark is the gravy train. Imagine if this girl had injured Caitlin Clark to the point where she tore her ACL and was out for the year, a season and a half. What would that do to the WNBA? So I understand going at her. I understand hard fouls. I understand all that. But why be dirty about it when this is the only freaking reason why people are watching your league? As much as I love Kelsey Plum and Becky Hammon, no one cared. No one cared. They weren't going to be removing the Yankees from ESPN to show the Aces, but they're showing a freaking Indiana WNBA team that has a losing record because people want to watch Caitlin Clark.
Look at this. Jonathan C. says, because you were talking about the NFL's greatest hits.
Yeah.
Because of the background music was Here Comes the Boom.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look at Midtown Texas. Give us a $5 chat. Thanks, man. Appreciate that, dude.
John, thank you so much, Sam. Welcome back, Joe and Mike. Mike wasn't reading our comments last week.
Oh, my God.
They came in fast and furious, dude. At least when I read the comments now, I can actually go to you for a few seconds and catch my breath a little bit. When I'm trying to do the show and hit the button, a little bit much.
It's hard looking left and right at the same time while you're having to do everything else.
It's doing this, and chewing gum, right?
Yeah.
People coming out saying that this was a flop. Flop or not? Can you at least tell me? Do you know what it's called whenever you foul somebody before a ball's inbounded? Anybody know what that's called?
What is
Raise your hand.
What's that called?
That's called an intentional foul.
Well, yeah, it was. Usually you would tell the ref, hey, I'm going to foul this person.
But you can't foul somebody before the ball's being put into play.
No.
That's automatically an intentional foul. But then the other argument is why the hell are her teammates not doing anything? Dude, is somebody level Victor Wembanyama? If somebody leveled Wemby, I would want Sohan, I would want Collins, I would want Champagny or whoever's on the court to go over there and just cold cock whoever hit him.
Yeah, you would.
You don't do that. And we saw this with the Spurs a couple of years ago. The Spurs were soft a couple of years ago with DeRozan. And, DeRozan, I remember one time DeRozan ran into the lane and got leveled, and no one did nothing. Keldon just stood there. Keldon at one point was getting crushed.
Oh, yeah.
And no one did anything. You've got to stand up for your own players. And people are like, well, why isn't she getting up? Well, first of all, if she stood up to that girl, she would get her ass handed to her. Hey, but she ain't gonna beat that girl up.
But you still got to stand up for yourself. You might get your ass beat, but you got to come back up.
No, that's not her job. No, it's not her job to get.
Your teammates ain't doing it. You got to do it.
No, it's not her job to get suspended.
No, man.
Because if she throws a punch, does she get suspended?
Of course.
Then what? Then how does that make things better?
You sending a message. You're going to go ahead and foul me. I'm going to bite back.
She's not sending a message. She's sending the message that she is rattled.
Dude. The message that she's saying by doing nothing and her teammates doing nothing, the message being sent is that team is soft as hell.
Dude, I don't want Wemby throwing one punch his entire career. Someone levels Wemby, that is Sohan's job to go up there and cold cock somebody.
Well, if one of your teammates gets, let's say, fined because they're sticking up for you, you're paying that fine.
No, it has nothing to do with the fine. It's the suspension. Imagine if Caitlin Clark went up to somebody and like she got hit and then she went and punched her.
She's gonna snap this season.
At
some point she's gonna snap.
But you have to admit that Caitlin Clark does that. She knows that she's under a microscope.
Oh, yeah.
She's got the sponsors. They're not gonna. She's not being sponsored because of her fighting ability. It's because they want to see her knock down some threes.
Getting sponsored to get beat up.
This isn't the streets. This isn't I got to keep my rep. This isn't any of that. This is a professional sports
league. That's street ball rules, bro. No blood, no foul.
Well, that is not street ball. They're playing in front of 18,000 fans when normally they play in front of 4,000 fans.
At Morvey, it's called Hack a Caitlin.
That's true. That's true.
Look at JHNSB. Clark needs to throw a punch. He's looking soft out there. Yeah, exactly, bro. Exactly.
But it's going to be a lot better if she's outside doing nothing.
Hey, man, at some point she's going to snap this season. I'm telling you, she's going to get tired of getting knocked down, bro.
All right. Do you know who snapped yesterday? Let's go to my screen.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. This was brutal, dude.
Jabari
Parker, who was the number 2 overall pick in the draft back in 2014. The guy was – they expected him to be a star. I mean – that when you're drafting somebody 2nd overall in the draft, you're expected to be a star. He was a stud 5-star player in high school. He was a good player in college over at Duke. Was a one and done. Number 2 overall pick in the 2014 draft. Went to the Milwaukee Bucks. Should be playing with Giannis, right? He should be Giannis's running mate. But because he tore a couple of ACLs over the years, his career effectively ended a couple of seasons ago. This reporter from Spain is interviewing him and asked a very simple question to him. Basically asking the question, hey, man, when you reflect back on your first year playing in Spain, not playing in the United States, what was it like for you as a player and what was it like for you as a man to have to go away from home to play? He didn't answer with one word. He just started crying. And the reporter ended the interview. Dude, I mean, look at that reaction that he had there.
Oh my God, bro. Jonathan C has me freaking dying, dude. Look at this. Jabari looks like that uncle that says, let me hold 20, nephew.
Jabari Parker, by the way, plays for a team in Barcelona, Spain, right? So it's not like he's in the middle of nowhere, right? I mean, he could be playing in Turkey.
Bro, he's in Spain.
He could be playing with the Shanghai Sharks, who, by the way, Boogie Cousins was named the finals MVP in that league in China, by the way, over the weekend.
Hey, do your thing, big dog.
Shout out, right? He's playing for a team in Barcelona, who, by the way, has a bunch of NBA talent on that team. I looked at the roster. I counted 4 other players that played in the NBA.
Yeah.
Starting point guard on his team was Ricky Rubio. So he's not playing with scrubs. He's playing with good players.
You think Ricky Rubio's crying?
they had a good record. They had a 600 winning percentage. They got knocked out of the playoffs yesterday, so the playoffs are over. The season's over. But I think what hit him is the fact that the way that the reporter phrased it,
yeah,
probably pretty much phrased it and said, you ain't going back to the NBA. Not with those knees.
Yeah, man.
He averaged 10 points per game, which, by the way, in Europe is actually pretty decent because they don't play as many minutes.
Instead of crying, yes, in contrast from where you were to where you're at now, you shouldn't be crying because you're still given the ability to do what you were good at, and that's play basketball. You're given a second chance. That's nothing to be sad about, cry about. You might not be with your family. Who's to say his family hasn't traveled to Spain with him?
Right, but
come on,
but
bro.
he wants to play for the NBA.
Well,
man.
not the knees ain't gonna let you do it no more. You're still getting paid to play basketball. Do I feel sorry for him crying? Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
I know he's making money, dude. And they got swept in the playoffs. It was the semifinals. They had a good season. But it's just one of those things where the disappointment of his career, because what is he going to be known for? He's going to be known as being a disappointment. Was he a bust? I wouldn't say that he was a bust because it's kind of hard to
didn't live
bust.
up to expectations, man.
Yeah, but you get certain leeway when you are injured.
Greg Oden, oh God, talk about a bust, man.
Well, Jabari Parker, his rookie season, 12 points per game, 5.5 rebounds. Not bad for a rookie, right?
Yeah.
Second season, 14 points per game. So went from 12 to 14. Third season in the league, 2016 to 17, he averaged 20.1 points per game, 6 rebounds and 3 assists. Then he got hurt. And then he stayed hurt.
Yeah.
Look at the number of games he played. 25 his rookie season, 76 his second season. And then because of injuries, 82 game season, 51, 31, 39, 25, 32, 6, 3, 10, 12. The guy is the definition of damaged goods. He was a player who was drafted number 2 overall and proved that he was worthy of that because within his third season, not a lot of third-year players are averaging 20 points per game.
Yeah, man.
He was averaging 20 points per game, and then his knees gave out. And he's being interviewed by this Spanish reporter, the Spaniard reporter, who just got into his feels, man, and says, hey, you had to give up on your NBA dream, but at least you're over here. You're reflecting on it. He lost it. I feel bad for the guy, dude.
Yeah, man. That's another thing that happened, but fortunately for like somebody of the caliber of Grant Hill, who was also riddled with injury, he found a second resurgence of his career when he went to Phoenix.
Yeah.
And he was kind of just like a role player, not that star player anymore. Mm-hmm. But he still made a career out of it. Unfortunately for Jabari, his body just failed him, dude. Yeah,
there's a great NBA page, a pretty decent one called NBA Bow.
Yeah.
Saying Jabari Parker had Hall of Fame talent, but his knees just would not cooperate.
Look at this, Morby. DeAndre Ayton is a bust. He should go play for a Chinese team somewhere.
Wouldn't you like to go watch that a little bit? To watch these players kind of do their thing? If you go out on my screen real fast.
Yeah.
DeMarcus Cousins named Finals MVP after leading the Taiwan Beer Leopards to a championship in Taiwan.
Beer Leopards.
He was, quote, dominant. 24 points, 24 rebounds in the final game. Congratulations to DeMarcus Cousins.
Boogie, man. Boogie out there doing his thing.
Boogie doing his thing, man. Teaching him how to play in Taiwan.
I wonder if they're going to erect a statue in his honor, just like Stephon Marbury.
Yeah. But, look at the reaction here. He looks to be having fun with his teammates.
What's wrong with that, dude? He's doing what he loves, man. Let him do his thing.
There are not a lot of 6'11" people in Taiwan, that's for sure. Tony Ronaldo is reaching out saying Greg Oden had bad knees. Poor guy as well. The thing about it is that everyone knew that Greg Oden had bad knees. And they took him anyway.
Deer leopard sounds like something you see in
No.
the caca water off Corpus.
No, it's not deer. It's beer.
Beer.
Like
Beer leopards.
I have no idea what that means, but look at Boogie Cousins, man. There was a time when Spurs fans really wanted Boogie Cousins on this team.
Oh, I remember that. Dude.
About 4 or 5 seasons ago. But man, I think that Dwight Howard is the one guy that really opened the door of a future NBA. Okay, because Dwight Howard will be a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
And I don't want to argue that. It just is what it is.
And basketball Hall of Fame. It's not the NBA Hall of Fame.
Well, right, but he's gonna make it for his NBA work, right?
Yeah.
But he really ushered that whole thing about going to China.
Yeah. He was telling players, come over here, play with me.
I'm gonna look that up. Famous basketball players in China.
I don't think anybody's bigger than Stephon Marbury was over there playing in China, dude.
Remember JJ Redick? Was it JJ Redick or who? No. That guy
had a
the white
stint
guy.
here he had a stint here with the Spurs, and he didn't make it through training camp.
Oh my God!
What was his name?
He was a college star,
famed shooter.
Jimmer Fredette.
Fredette, yeah, Jameer Fredette, Shanghai Shark star.
John reached out and saying Stephon Marbury was that guy.
He was, man.
Starbury in China, man.
Dude, he was so big over there in China, man. Like his shoes were selling like
You're right. Stephon Marbury, former NBA All-Star, is a beloved figure in China. Man. 2010, joined the CBA, played for 9 seasons.
Dude's a superstar over there, bro.
Oh, look at this photo. Look at this photo right here. I'm trying to call up some photos of Stephon Marbury playing in China. Look at him living his best life.
He was, man. He was making money too, man. He was selling his shoes. He's gotten endorsement deals, man. He found a resurgence of his career over in China, bro.
Man, he even had the clothing to go with it.
Oh yeah, dude. He was.
I remember him being out there, but I don't remember him being out there for 9 seasons.
Dude, he was making some bank out there,
holding up the titles and all that stuff. Couldn't hang in the NBA though, man. Marbury was good though for a while there, man. He had some handles on him.
Yeah, see, Jonathan C remembers too. Stephon has his own statue. I'm telling you, man.
That is crazy.
Jameer is the Kareem of China. Jameer Fredette. I remember Chris Duell when I was doing Spurs React with him. He's so excited, man. Spurs got Jameer Fredette. Y'all are going to see. He was so happy. And I'm
dude, that was all hype. Dude.
And I was telling him, man, I said, I don't think the brother's going to make it through training camp. Sure enough, got the cut.
That was all hype. But do you know what was not hype? My goodness, last night, I was going over and I was watching the final inning of the
auto insurance.
Oh, let me lower this real fast. This is on YouTube. This was the 6A finals softball championship between a school out of Waco Midway, and Weslaco. Again, the 2024 Texas UIL 6A state softball championship. You're seeing that right there. That is the first out of the inning. Bottom of the 7 in high school, they play only 7 innings, right? So there's 1 out, and you see Weslaco is down 9-3, right? First out right there. Down to the last 2 outs. Error. Look at that. That error right there advances all the way to 3rd. So you're thinking to yourself, okay, it's not like the winning run or the tying run is on deck or anything, right? I mean, what are the odds? Look at that. Just throw her out, and there's 2 outs. 1 more out to go. You're state champions. Dude, I'm just going to keep advancing this thing, dude. Over the course of the next 10 minutes, that Waco Midway team just unraveled. Just completely unraveled. And you're seeing they started loading the bases. And then there was another single, and then another single. And it all ends over here 9-6, dude. Look at this, 9-6. Still 1 out.
Bases loaded.
And now they load the bases in the bottom. You know what's going to happen, right? You know what's going to happen.
Should have done the Bambino and just point out.
Just point out. I mean, we don't even have to tell you what's going to happen. Let's just show this to you. What's going to happen right here. Let me see the name of the person, because I want to give the proper name. Andrea Ortiz, a sophomore, steps to the plate. A sophomore, not a senior with a lot of experience, not a junior with a couple of years of experience. Goes out there and let's see here. Here it comes. I think this is the pitch right here. 2-2 pitch. Down to a strike right here. 2-2 pitch. Cranked it.
Out of here.
Out of here to win the state championship.
Wow.
The first time a team from Weslaco High School has ever won a state championship in any sport. This was the first time the RGV had ever had a softball team from the RGV ever even make it to the championship game. Go out there and win. Down 9-3 when the inning started. Just 3 outs, and the first batter was out. And then it all started because of an unforced error. Pitcher couldn't throw out a batter at first. What a great comeback. Alonso reached out to us and saying, Puro 956.
A la verga. That's pretty damn good, man. I mean, but the other team, can you imagine how they're feeling? You could have had this one, dude.
Yeah. This is a great moment, man. This is a great moment in sports. I feel bad for the Waco Midway team.
Yeah.
I feel bad for them, but there's nothing to say that. I mean, imagine being that pitcher. I mean, I know you lose as a team and all that stuff, right? But you're up 6 runs. Imagine being that pitcher today, going to school for the last week. I don't know if that pitcher was a senior or not, but it's brutal, dude.
Dude, did you see this? I just saw this by Adrian Wojnarowski. Posted 38 minutes ago, man. The great Alonzo Mourning, man. He underwent surgery to remove his prostate after a diagnosis of stage 3 prostate cancer. Bro.
Wow.
And it seems now that, you know, the cancer did not spread, and they're saying that he's considered cancer-free.
Alonzo Mourning is one of those players that he was really good. Yeah. He's in the hall of really good. I don't know if Alonzo Mourning is in the Hall of Fame or not. And by the way, there's nothing more scary than prostate cancer for a guy.
Tell me about it, bro.
I had a client who died of prostate cancer, and I'll never forget when he called me.
Man,
I had been his advisor for many, many years. He called me up one day and was like, "Hey, Michael, I have something to talk to you about, tell you." And I remember asking him, "What's wrong?"
Yeah.
And he goes, "I've got prostate cancer."
Damn.
This was a guy that had just retired, man. He was going to live the retirement that he wanted. He had saved all this money to do so. And he was basically told that he only had a few months to live. And the last time I saw him, he was frail. Oof. He wanted to get his affairs in order. By the way, for those of you who don't know this, if you have somebody who's terminal, who has 12 months or less to live, the life insurance company will pay out more often than not half the life insurance while they're alive. So I managed to get this guy's life insurance paid out, and we paid off his house and all that stuff so that his beneficiaries wouldn't have to do it.
Yeah, they don't have to worry about that.
And the greatest compliment I ever got was he told me, and he told his brother, "You need to work with Michael. He's been taking care of me for 6 years. I want you to work with him."
Yeah.
And they continue to do so. And so for this guy to have a removal of prostate cancer, a stage 3 is devastating. That is the one. If you were to say, Michael, what is the one disease or the one illness you don't want to go get? It's that one, man. That's the one that scares the living crap out of me.
Yeah, and now we're getting up there in age, so you know what that means, dude. We got to go
Finger
get
up
checked.
the butt.
Yeah, bro.
Finger up the butt. Look at Alonzo Mourning's career. NBA champion in 2006, 7-time All-Star, All-NBA team, All-Second team one time. So both. He was Defensive Player of the Year twice. He was a blocks leader twice. He was an All-Rookie team. He is a Basketball Hall of Fame member. All right. I don't remember him getting in the Hall, though.
Not yet. I mean, I don't even know his name has been mentioned or they've nominated him.
He was inducted in 2019.
Oh, was he? Yeah.
Oh, no, in 2014. He was also inducted into the FIBA Hall of Fame.
I didn't remember that, dude.
The FIBA Hall of Fame. Why? Because he also got the gold medal with the 2000 Sydney team, the U.S. men's basketball team in Sydney. He was also a gold medalist for the 1994 FIBA Gold Cup and the bronze in the 1990 Argentina FIBA World Cup.
Yeah.
He was also a member of the Goodwill Games back in 1990. Alonzo Mourning was good, man. I never saw him as a superstar.
Yeah.
He was just really good. We talk about like what's that, Domantas Sabonis from Sacramento? Like, he's really good.
Yeah.
He's gonna have like 7 or 8 All-Star appearances. He's really good, but he's not Wemby.
He ain't his daddy, dude. He ain't Arita Sabonis.
That's right, man. Chris Gonzalez saying Zoe got a statue. Just ask Vince Carter about his statue. Let's give some love to Jeff Garcia from Locked On Spurs and Ken's 5.
Here we go.
Doing what he does.
Let me go ahead and get his video ready. Locked On Spurs is your daily Spurs podcast, hosted by Jeff Garcia, the lead Spurs writer for Ken's 5 San Antonio. Jeff has a healthy plethora of guests all the time on the Locked On Spurs podcast. You can also follow Jeff on Threads at Jeff G Ken's 5 SA. You can also follow Jeff on Twitter at Jeff G Spurs Zone. So make sure you go ahead and give Jeff a follow not only on Threads and Twitter, but also on YouTube at youtube.com/@LockedOnSpurs. This is where you're going to be able to find the replay of the Locked On Spurs podcast. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share.
Now, there's an article from Jeff Garcia from Ken's 5 and Locked On Spurs. He's talking about Jeremy Sohan. He spoke about the Spurs rebuilding and believing in the process of building a winner. Quote, "We're staying patient." Talking about Jeremy Sohan and the Spurs development.
Your boy.
Bringing the team together. I was at the Spurs Club over the weekend, late at night. They're open until midnight. And when I was there, I saw some players on the court practicing. Didn't look like any of the varsity squad. I think they were probably members of the Austin Spurs.
Yeah.
But it was nice seeing them get a practice in. That was pretty cool. RJ Marquez of Ken's 5, of K's at 12 rather, posted this video. I don't want to play the sound of it though. Let me
just mute it.
Let me mute that. Larry Allen passed away at the age of 52. Cowboys legend. Someone brought up the point that Larry Allen managed to get to track down a linebacker. This against the Saints back in the day. Look at Larry Allen at 325.
Get it, big man. Get it.
Look at him go. Saved Tony Romo from getting pancaked.
Look at that.
Look at this. Look at this against the Saints. Deflection, interception. He has gone from the 30, the 40, the 50, down to the 40. This is in the Superdome in New Orleans, Louisiana.
Not on my watch.
Saving the touchdown. Not only didn't push him out of bounds.
Just got him down.
Just roped him up like a calf.
No oxygen needed either.
Larry Allen passed away, age of 52, which is really, really sad. Speaking of reporters here in town, I'm going to turn this off. Speaking of reporters here in town, I got a text message yesterday from one of the reporters at Ken's 5. And I'm there going, why are they asking me these questions about a story? Joe, they reached out to the wrong Mike Jimenez.
Oh, God. You got mistaken for the guy on Channel 5?
Yeah, because I used to work there.
Yeah.
So they were messaging me about this story. And I'm like, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. But I can be there in 30 minutes if need be. Yeah. Well, they responded back to me and they're like, hey, Michael, we're apologize. Wrong Mike Jimenez. And I said, well, in your records there on your cell phone, put down Mike Jimenez OG. So you know which one you're talking to.
OG. Mm-hmm. OG, triple OG.
Mario Cavasso saying Mike wasn't a Saints fan when that happened. You're right. I didn't become a Saints fan until like 2005. I was a Houston Oilers fan probably around that time. Bear County Social Apparel saying I put my life insurance in a trust to avoid taxes. Life insurance is tax deductible anyway. I mean, not tax deductible. It's tax free anyway. So regardless if it's in a trust or not, as long as it's not a modified endowment contract, it is actually tax free. Tony Nellis put Mike De Playa Jimenez.
When are they going to call you? I'm known as the player. You know what?
Player.
You know who would get a kick out of that?
What's that?
Pitt.
Pitt. I've been trying to get him on this show. Anthony Pittman's one of my good friends.
Oh man,
his dad has had some issues health wise, and every time
sorry to hear that.
Every time we try to bring, he's getting a little bit better,
Yeah.
But every time we try to get Anthony in here, there's always something that comes up.
Yeah.
Doctor's appointment
Life.
or whatever the case may be.
He's such a good guy, man. I love me some Pitt, dude.
JHNSB saying, spit some finance game to us. That's the thing, man. Been doing it for 20 years. Although the whole thing about the whole trust thing is kind of a thing because I am looking at opening up a trust myself because something happens to me, I'm not going to be married anymore at the end of the by the end of the year.
Mike, we trust.
Yeah, I want to take care of my son who's not biologically mine, but I raised him.
Yeah,
and he's special needs, and if something happens to me, I want to have some money go to the child. I don't want to go into the former spouse. I want to go into the child's
take care of the kids. Yeah. Man.
And that's how trusts kind of come into play and stuff like that. But
I'm sure your son, your daughters,
Yeah, I told my daughters, or actually I told my oldest daughter, I said, by the way, you are a beneficiary now of my life insurance policy. And
Gabby?
Gabby. Yeah, I'm walking around with 1.75 million in life insurance right now. So, someone's got to get it. And I bought it a long time ago and I was married. The whole point of it was to pay off my mortgage. The point of it was to, provide income for my spouse, but we're getting divorced, so I don't have to provide income for her anymore. So it's now about the kids. And I wasn't going to just get rid of the policy. I was like, I'll just keep it
for them. Yeah,
keep it for them.
Dude. You don't want them to be liable for anything that you might owe after your passing.
Yeah, Bear County Social Apparel is saying generational wealth. It's amazing how that works because I've always said this. Even if it's the smallest policy, $25,000, $50,000. Do you know what I hate, man? And this is part of being Latino, man. And Latino in general, you hear someone pass away and here comes the plate sale.
Yeah.
Here's a chicken, sausage, rice, beans, $15. We need money for a funeral. When really that should have been covered by life insurance.
Yeah.
And the amount of life insurance that's needed is not the burial. And oh my God, all these people getting life insurance through their employer. And don't be wrong, if it's cheap, that's fine.
And sometimes it's free. It's just
if it's free, but you got to do something on the outside.
Oh yeah, definitely, dude. I mean, that's really what's that going to take care of? I mean, nothing.
And then also, what happens if the company leaves you? What if the company starts to downsize or goes away? Yeah. Then you're kind of screwed at that point. That's why you want to do something on the outside. I'm not trying. I really can't pimp my services, but you have to reach out to me if you do, because I can't use this platform to say, hey, who wants to be with me? No,
funerals are expensive, dude. Funerals are expensive,
dude. The normal spiel of you need 8 to 12 times your income. It's sometimes more. It's sometimes less. It all depends on everyone's situation.
You got to rent the location, as far as having the service and all that, and the casket and the transportation. You have to buy the plot of land and all that kind of stuff. Even the headstone alone, it could run you $8 to $10,000, dude. It's expensive, man.
John C. say we got to change that thinking. I have a 401k, still learning. My grandpa hid money under his mattress. My money is making money, and that's the thing. It's funny because the hardest people to convince to do finance in my life are the ones working paycheck to paycheck. It's not that I won't work with somebody making paycheck to paycheck, but they're harder to convince. Dude, my wealthy clients, and I have several wealthy clients, they just implicitly trust me with millions of dollars at a time. Millions of dollars at a time.
Look at what Sith is asking. As your stepson, can I keep Duncan and the lizard?
Yeah, you can take Duncan if something happens to me. We'll go ahead and put that in there.
And the lizard.
But you got to take Cody too.
And Daisy.
Yeah. It's funny. I have a milestone. We have a milestone over the weekend where we went to 900 subscribers. Now we're at 901. In my business, which I restarted a few years ago, I now have 13 million in retirement assets, and I now have 17 million in insurance assets.
Nice.
That I manage. That's $30 million total that I manage on a daily basis.
Wow.
And that's why I get to play at the Spurs Club from time to time. Spurs. That's my second office.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Dude, but it's going to be a business write-off because you can take clientele.
Everybody in there is business owner.
Yeah, you take your clientele there. I mean, it's a thing that you're doing. You're going to have a nice lunch. You're going to have some clients. You're going to take them somewhere nice, man.
Well, and and the lunches aren't that expensive over there. The meals, you could probably get a good meal there for $20 bucks.
But it's a nice place.
Yeah. But there's a party room there. And I got to reach out to Spernandez because if he's listening right now, Spernandez, if you want to have your retirement party over there.
Yeah, dude.
There's a room that they've got in there that maybe seats about 50 or 60 people.
Nice place.
It's ideal, and it has its own bar. And when I say its own bar, it's not like a wedding venue where they've got like this roll-up bar. No, it is a nice bar, and it overlooks the Spurs floor.
Oh man,
let me know, Spernandez.
Hey, just shout out to our homie, man, Spernandez, dude. Thank you for your service, bro. He finished his Marine career, dude.
Oh yeah, and he is listening. He just responded right now.
Man.
Let's go ahead and show the photo of him that he posted the other day. Let me see here.
Man, he did a lot of tours, dude. And it was for, thank goodness for people who are in the service like Fernandez and all that keep our freedom alive,
Most definitely, man. Rick Fernandez, exit 7, John Jay High School graduate.
Exit 7?
UT Longhorn.
Yeah.
Is calling it a career over there in San Diego. I know we've talked about, he's done the show before. He had that interview with Jesse James Lehoff a few weeks ago. He's a diehard Spurs fan,
He goes everywhere.
And he gets the selfies. He's a selfie king. And on top of that, dude, the camera loves him, man.
Oh, yeah.
He bounces, when the Spurs win, he bounces.
He says, when they win, we bounce it. It's him and Steph.
Yeah. He's the collection of cups for Fernandez.
Yeah.
But as he mentioned, tours in Iraq, Pakistan, Jordan, Kuwait, Spain, Italy, Greece, England, Dubai, Korea, and Japan, as well as both coasts, Hawaii. That's remarkable, dude. That's remarkable. Thank you for your service. And it's just it's one of those things where that is a tough life. It is a tough life. My former father-in-law had a thing on his wall, and I used to go there when I was married to his daughter, and it said, "The home is where the Army sends me." Now I know Rick was with the Marines, but it showed every place that he had gone to, from Stuttgart, Germany, all the way to Korea and Japan and whatnot. That's kind of crazy, man. I don't know if I could ever live the life of, they call it the PCS, right? Permanent change of station, where you PCS from place to place. And
it's a hard life, dude.
It is, man. And I've had the good fortune of working with military members because my financial background was, I first started at USAA.
Yeah.
So it's funny because I know all the military lingo. I know enlisted officer. I know it's all the acronyms. I had to memorize them. Their LES and the TSP funds and all of that stuff. It's an interesting dynamic when you work with somebody in the military.
And the cool thing is, Fernandez will be in town this week.
Yeah.
So he will be in studio here on Friday, and we have a secret guest joining us in studio on Friday.
I wonder what the next move is going to be for him. I was kind of caught off guard. I remember him telling me a while back that he was, in the last couple of years, but I didn't know if it was going to be 2024.
Yeah.
But that's 21 and a half years of service.
Yeah.
Hey, man, he's going to get 52.5% of his pay for life, baby.
Yeah. Congratulations.
Pension begins now, man. Get the pension at 40 something. That's not bad, man.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Yeah, he's going to start the second phase of his life now, dude. So congratulations to him, man.
Dude, he's going to make some bank.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
He's going to make some bank because my experience working with those who are retired military, they get out around 45 or so. Dude, by the time they're 47, 48, they are making some big time bank. It's because of the discipline. It's because of leadership. It's because of hard work. It's because of getting up early. It's because of caring. And it's because of selfless attitude. No matter if they're going into finance or if they're going into sales or they're going into, dude, one of my clients, good friend of mine, was an 03 over 12, right? He was about to go 04. And once you go 04, you have to go 05 at that point. You have to go lieutenant colonel at that point, right? You got to make it to at least that. And he was in the Army. He was a leader of a Foxtrot company over here at Fort Sam Houston. He had tours in Iraq and Afghanistan and whatnot. But because of PTSD, he just couldn't handle it anymore. And he had some issues with that. And I was there with him when he had some episodes. We were at a wedding downtown at the St. Anthony Hotel. And for those of you who've ever been to the St. Anthony Hotel, it's a really nice old hotel, but they have a ballroom in there that has this area there. It's like all the way around the ballroom. There's an upstairs area, and it's like railing all the way through. And he was so freaked out being in that room. He was looking up. And I was like, what's going on? And he says, I can't help but be looking for snipers right now.
Yeah.
And he told me some very intimate deals about like what happened to him and things that he saw, that he told me he couldn't be in the military anymore. Well, what ended up happening was he ended up going into the reserves the rest of the way, so that he's not there full time. That guy now works in sales for a large company, a very, very large company. And he's pulling down some major bank, dude. Guy's making about $300,000-$400,000 a year now.
And look at this, man. Mario Cavazos. Fernandez is going to open up his own sports bar, naming it Puro Pinche Burgers.
It's Fernandez. That's what I'm talking about, baby.
Yeah. Alias, his AKA Rick. We know him as Rick, you know.
I just looked at the time, dude.
Yeah, dude, it's getting up there. I just noticed.
Holy heck, man. We didn't even get to the Demon Mike segment. We didn't even get to pop culture. We were gonna I was gonna ask if Eminem's a thing or not, man.
We might have to get to that tomorrow.
I know. I do want to update a poll that I did yesterday.
Oh, yeah. Let's go ahead and check that out.
Yeah, so,
I saw that. I retweeted it.
So it's funny because I realized I had done this poll like 4 or 5 years ago, asking the question, what is the greatest movie? Because Sean Quintero, who was with us on Friday, asked the question, what was the greatest Patrick Swayze movie? What is your favorite of the 4? Ghost, Roadhouse, Dirty Dancing, or Point Break? Because I'm going to go with Point Break.
I like Roadhouse, man, but I think Point Break holds a special place for me, dude. I like that. It's such a good movie, man.
Now, here's the thing. He wasn't the star of the movie.
No.
Keanu Reeves was, but that was probably his best character.
He played a great villain, dude.
That's the thing. Now, Ghost was a great movie.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it was so dramatic. You know,
your favorite scene's the pot scene. They're making that clay pot.
They're making the clay. Yeah. That was great. I loved that movie so much. The floating penny, you know, was Willie, what was Willie the guy that did the murder?
Oh yeah.
That was Willie Sanchez or something like that. Anyway, great all the way around. Love that movie. Roadhouse is classic, but it's campy. Okay. Yeah. I'll never get tired of Roadhouse. It'll be 30, 40 years from now. I'll be at home in my 70s watching Roadhouse. Okay.
Still, that original, the OG it just kills the new one, dude. That remake is terrible, bro.
But Brad Wesley was a great villain. In Roadhouse. Remember he's driving?
Yeah.
He's going swaying back and forth. I love that. Dirty Dancing's a great movie, but that's more of a Jennifer Grey movie than anything else.
Yeah.
But you're right. The best character was Point Break. And people are like Red Dawn. He died early.
Yeah.
Okay. Wolverines. Pow. He didn't even survive halfway through. So we're going to put down Point Break.
Point Break, dude.
Okay. So the voting with 129 votes, 29.5% saying Point Break. So it's 29% to 28 for Roadhouse, 23 for Dirty Dancing, 19 for Ghosts. Just goes to show.
Put my vote in.
I did.
All right.
I did for Point Break. I can't vote for my own. I would have voted Point Break also. Yeah. But it's a great scene. Dude, the jumping out of the plane.
Oh, yeah.
And if I'm not mistaken, Point Break was directed by Catherine Bigelow. It was.
Yeah. You still remember the bank scene, dude, where they were all wearing the mask?
Yeah.
Holding up the bank.
We talk about how much we love The Town. Isn't The Town really just a ripoff of Point Break?
Point Break, yeah.
But Catherine Bigelow, that was her first major directorial role. She had done stuff beforehand, but that was like her first big budget one. But she went on to go do The Hurt Locker and a lot of other good movies out there. She was married to James Cameron for a few years there. But I look at the movies she's done: Point Break, The Widowmaker, The Hurt Locker. She did Zero Dark 30.
Oh yeah, they were all good films,
career,
man.
Dude.
Good films,
career.
Dude.
Very, very nice. Well,
oh, and I was going to tell everybody, if you haven't watched it already, watch it, man. I just saw this over the weekend, and Netflix apparently now just has Godzilla -1. It just came out on Netflix. If you're a fan of Godzilla movies, this one's actually a good one because it's like a low budget that they had to make this film.
Mm-hmm.
But what they were able to do with it it's just amazing. Like, it's not low quality. It's a really good quality film. I
Wow.
enjoyed it.
Well, I'll gotta check that out. Some news and notes. I saw this earlier today. Sources are telling ESPN that the New York Giants are expecting tight end Darren Waller to retire, and apparently Waller posted a song the other day. I think he's performing. I think he's a musician also, where he's basically apologizing to Kelsey Plum, who he married last year.
Oh yeah,
Las Vegas Aces, former San Antonio Silver Star.
Like, how do you lose that, bro?
Dude, he's losing his career and her. But Darren Waller, he's a young guy, dude. He's a young guy, 31 years old. Said during an Instagram live on Friday that a decision was coming very soon, that he's been contemplating retirement since the end of last season. Dude, if you're thinking about retirement in the NFL, just go ahead and retire.
Your mind's not there, dude.
Just go ahead and retire,
hurt, man.
Larry Allen, again, passed away at the age of 52.
That's a tough one, dude. I'm going to be thinking about that, man. It makes you start thinking about, time coming to an end. I mean, right now, I'd say we're in our sophomore season of life.
Well, you remember that song by Don Henley, Boys of Summer?
I remember that song. Yeah, it was also redone by the Ataris.
And I hate remakes, but the Ataris did a pretty good spin on it.
Yeah.
The Boys of Summer is actually a song about being middle-aged.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know that.
Yeah, I did.
So the Boys of Summer are gone.
Yeah.
And he's talking about how I can see you, and he's talking about going by her house, but I know that you're not home.
Yeah.
He's talking about the girl that he was in love with when he was young.
Yeah.
And she doesn't live there anymore because she's gone on and she's now living a life.
Yeah.
The Boys of Summer being gone is turning the page in life where we don't know if we're going to live to be 100 years old or we're going to live to be 50 years old. We don't. Larry Allen was alive and just yesterday and he died at 52. The Boys of Summer is that if you live a long life, you'd reach middle age. You realize that you reach the point in your life where you're not old,
you're not young.
but you're not young.
Yeah.
And that is what The Boys of Summer by Don Henley is, which is a great song, one of my favorite songs of all time. But if you now know that that's what he's talking about, because now he's reflective. He's kind of he's thinking about past loves, the things that he did wrong, and the loves lost and stuff like that. It's very interesting, and right now it's very poignant in my life, because I'm going through a divorce right now, and I know it's not going to be reconciled and all that stuff.
Yeah,
but it's one of those things where I look back and I'm there thinking to myself, man, you can't go back in time and fix something that's broken. When a vase is broken on the floor, it's broken, right? But what a great song, man.
Yeah,
people reaching out saying Plum is a dime.
She is a dime, bro. That was Alonzo.
Yeah, Jesse A asking, do you see that music video you put out? I saw a portion of it. Yeah, and I saw the people making fun of it. They're clowning him on it. He probably cheated on her, didn't he?
That's the consensus, dude. I'm like, how do you cheat on that, bro? Like, damn.
Kelsey Plum is a dime, dude.
Like, how do you cheat on that, bro? Like, straight up.
And you know what? She seems like a really cool person. Like, there's not one person who looks at Kelsey Plum and thinks to themselves, oh, what a jerk. She seems to be pretty cool. She's very fashionable. Kelsey Plum, dude. Future NBA, WNBA Hall of Famer, dude.
He's going to regret that, dude. He's just dumb.
He is dumb.
Dumb.
She's the ace on the Aces, man. She's the queen of hearts on that Aces team.
She got your heart.
She got my heart.
Oh, Lord, man.
Nugget.
Hey, man, we got some NBA Finals talk to be coming up here this week on Thursday, man. That's when it gets underway.
What's that again?
NBA Finals get underway on Thursday.
Yeah, go ahead and give me the Mavericks. I'm going to be cheering for the Mavericks because you know what? I mean, here's the thing: Luka's the best player in the whole series. And if you're to ask yourself the question, who's the second best player? Is it Kyrie? Is it Tatum? Is it Jaylen Brown? I think it's Kyrie. So, Gig,
Finals MVP.
Show me a team.
Yeah.
An NBA Finals where the team that had the two best players lost. I think the Mavericks are going to take it.
Yeah.
Some of the best bets that you have on there, by the way, I think I saw one that said 8-1 odds, not 80, 8-1 odds. Will Luka Doncic have 30 points or more in every game this series?
Yeah.
Not win or lose, just 30 points per game. It was like 8-1 odds. And then the Derek White one was, I think it was like 3-1 odds. Will he have 15 or more points every game of this series. And you got to figure for the finals, they're not going deep into the bench. It's going to be the starters playing 38, 39 minutes each.
Yeah.
You know, they're going to go like seven deep into the team.
Hey, we're going to have a schools out forever segment, man, on Wednesday, because technically that is the last day of school for a lot of kids here in San Antonio.
Yeah.
Being specifically my son, the baby of the family, his last day of high school. So I tell him school's out forever, and he goes, yes, school's out forever, but he's going to be going to college.
Yeah, I remember that day in high school.
Yeah.
You know, when it was the last day, and you don't realize the effect that it has on you.
Yeah.
You know, and as you get older, you start to look back and think back on things, and you can't look back at things and regret.
Yeah.
Because the fact of the matter is that you can only learn from it. You know, it's one of those things where life is too short to be sad all the time. And I've learned that myself. I mean, I was depressed for a good 3 months. There's a reason why we took off from this show from August to the beginning of the year.
It changed from the Acquired Taste to the Alamo City Sports Cast.
I was depressed off my ass, dude.
Yeah.
And I'm getting better by the day, better by the week, better by the month. Yeah. And I woke up one day, and it's our good friend, Valerie Pacheco.
Thanks, Val.
Valerie Pacheco, right around Christmas time. And she was like, hey, why aren't you doing your podcast? Why aren't you doing the podcast anymore? And I said, well, because I'm not feeling good. I'm not up for it because I'm sad. I'm depressed. And she goes, well, you want to quit that shit and just like do it?
Get off your ass.
You know, does it make you happy?
Yeah.
Yes. Well, why are you not doing something that makes you happy? Why don't you just like go back and do it? And I said, I remember I told you, I said, let's do it Monday. And it was the beginning of the year.
Yeah, there we go.
So she kind of like knocked some sense into me, and it was still rough and whatnot.
Yeah.
But January's turned into February, and February's turned into March, and March turned into April, and all that
Only
stuff.
took us 150 something episodes to hit our stride.
This is the best sports talk show in town.
It is, man. You know,
it is.
And then we can't do everything we do without the listeners and without the support of everybody here. So we greatly appreciate every single one of you. And more importantly, we appreciate the other members of the Alamo City Podcast Network. Brandon Medina.
Yeah.
Spernandez. Chicana Fuerte. You know, they make the show go. We're all doing things, you know, to go ahead and help the network grow. You know? So even though, you know, people might not always see everybody on here, believe me, we still communicate almost like on a daily basis or weekly basis, and we're keeping tabs, and everybody's working to, you know, go ahead and make this the best network that we can. So we appreciate everybody who's a part of the network, and especially the fans who make this show go.
That's it, man. And the milestone that was hit yesterday was 900. I got a feeling that I know who 901 was today, because I was just talking to somebody about the podcast this morning, and I said, hey, he goes, oh, I know you have a podcast. I was like, okay, have you seen it? Yes. Have you subscribed to it? He goes, I don't think I have. And I said, well, let me send you the link to subscribe. And we are now at 901 subscribers strong.
Wow.
99 away from 1,000. That's when we get the party.
Yeah. And you know what? My son bought me the Wembanyama Funko Pop. So I know they have some over here at the HEB on Marbach. So I'm probably going to go and buy at least 2 or 3. We'll give them away, you know?
This is the first time our podcast has gone to 12 o'clock, but we're doing it right now.
Hey, can we go ahead and do this 24 hours nonstop, Mike?
John and C, don't forget, Mike, if you want to go out with a counselor teacher season, I got you. Hey, man, DM me a pic. Let's see what's up.
Oh.
Kidding. Kind of not. Maybe. Yes. No, not really. But you know, it's fun, dude. It's fun. But like I said, got my head on straight. Got to go back to work over here. Go LSU Tigers tonight, trying to advance deeper into the College World Series, taking on number 1 ranked UNC. Let's make it happen. LSU Tigers. Go Tigers! And rest in peace, Larry Allen.
Yeah, man.
52. Rip. A legend. Gone too early.
Yeah, man.
We'll be back tomorrow.
See you boys tomorrow.